Alright, my refugium is supposed to be off until about 11 o'clock or so. So, we won't mess with that. Oh, what the heck? Okay. Alright, this is getting slow to response. Alright, so now we're back down here with my refugium. Alright, so, what you guys are looking at is what I set up. Alright, so the way this works for now, because I haven't done the plumbing yet, because I want to make sure everything works, but the way it works now is that this right here, this gray tubing is my drain. I want it to be as flexible as possible for the water to be able to flow quick. As you can see in this corner right here, these are all my old bio balls. Went ahead and put them into the section. Now I don't know if you can see all those bubbles floating up to the top. The reason it's like that and I didn't put like holes in it is because I wanted the pressure to fall into one section and flow up. That gives aeration to the tank, and also it helps with a natural skimming. What happens is you'll notice over time you get like little bubbles here and stuff like that, and then you'll notice the glass over here is like real dirty. That's like a natural skimmer, and it's a natural aeration for the tank, so that way I don't have to be putting excess stuff on my tank. I like my tank nice and natural. Right here, this is the protein skimmer. I'm actually using a octopus. This is like the it's the octopus. It's the NWB. I forgot the actual model number, either the 110 or the 150. I just can't remember right now, but it's right there. And then you see basically the water flows out the bottom of here, fills up this chamber, goes under to the bottom, comes up, flows over my refugium. The reason I have it flowing over my refugium is because it creates current, but there's less movement inside. So if I put copepods and stuff like that, they're able to grow by the thousands before they're actually brought over into this side when the lights are off and they're running around. So during the daytime, my fish are being able to be fed by whatever I put down here. I'm gonna be growing some algae so that way my fish can eat it, and that way it's like free food for my tanks. So now once it flows, the water flows over, it goes down. This is like a little chamber to basically, I don't know if you can see those little bubbles, but this chamber is basically supposed to stop the bubbles. As you can see, the further you go down, there's no bubbles. Alright, so then we come back up, no bubbles at all. We come into this section, which is still dirty because I haven't cleaned it, sorry guys, and we come to the pump, and the pump pumps into the tank. Now I don't have any bio pellets on here yet. I don't have any reactors. That'll come along with the plumbing, but I wanted this to look really clean, so I'm still working on like the wiring. So once all the wiring is all said and done, then I'll be able to clean this up a lot better. I went ahead and I put in a heater right under this rock. There's actually a heater there. It's a titanium heater, and it's a FedEx heater, and that's the controller right there. It says that my tank is at 80 degrees. I have this little chamber back here. This is where all my probes are. They sit in this little chamber, so they're not floating around my tank, they're not hanging, they're just nice tucked into one little corner, and they're all there. So I have that wire there. Probably what I'm going to put here is the two reactors are going to be sitting on the glass, and then I'll probably put like a calcium reactor sitting in this little edge right here to take care of the tank. I was thinking about trying to fit an auto top off in this section by putting like a plastic custom like acrylic tank or something like that, but I think my calcium reactor is a lot more important, and maybe I can utilize the one of the outsides, the left side of the tank. On the outside I'll put like probably a tub or something like that with a small pump, and I'll do an auto top off there, need be. But the apex is here. You guys saw when I utilized the drill and went ahead and screwed it in. Thanks Frank for pointing that out. As you can see, everything's wired up. That OI or that on-off, I don't have anything to go there, and the pH ORP port, I don't have anything to go there. I'm actually going to order an ORP probe, or I might put the when I put the calcium reactor, I might just use it as a secondary pH probe. I'm not sure yet. When I get to that crossroad, I'll go ahead and do that. The refugium light is also DIY, and it's also on brackets. These brackets are a little bit longer because I wanted to let it hang a little bit lower. So I have, like, again, 2 royal blues and 4 cool whites. And there isn't a specific order because it's white, blue, 2 whites, 1 blue, white. So it gives me like this nice color right here. It actually looks yellow on camera because the camera's adjusted for the tank coloration, so you guys can see that. So we'll work on that. But some good news is that everything here so far is ran by the Apex. And what I mean by that is that the main pump, the skimmer, stuff like that. I thought I was only going to utilize it for the lights, but I had some extra space, so I decided to try some stuff out. So that's the skimmer. We'll turn that off. And as you can see, it goes off. I need to clean the neck and I need to clean the head, but we'll get to that on the cleaning day. And then we'll turn off the main pump. And as I turn off the main pump, you hear it gets nice and quiet. You might hear my other tank, but you'll notice everything's starting to rise, and you'll see the water level go up a little bit. I actually make my refugiums certain heights, and when I draw them out, I design them so that way they fit my specification. Like when my tank shuts off, the only thing that should happen is that all the water lines even out, and that's what you're seeing right now. Now once I turn the main pump back on and everything starts pumping, you'll notice some levels are start dropping, like the refugium, and then you'll notice the tank area, which is the first, or the pump area, drop also. Now it's still a little high, being the fact that the skimmer is off, so we'll go ahead and turn on the skimmer so you guys can get an idea of how much this thing drops. Now once the skimmer turns on, there you go, and you can see we go back to a nice lower level. Alright, now back here, I don't know if you guys can see that. That is that trade net. That is a trade net power line. That's what I'm utilizing to actually run this system wirelessly in my house. So this, I didn't have to run like a Cat 5 cable all the way from my modem, which is on the second floor of my house, all the way down to the bottom of my house. It's like 200 megabytes. I think it costs about $60 to $80. It's well worth the money. You don't need the 500 megabytes for the Apex because there's not much you're doing. It's just a bunch of switches that you're turning off and on and stuff like that. At most, I think the Apex utilizes about 43 megabytes of traffic back and forth, so 200 is well more than enough. So those guys trying to get the 500 megabytes, it's a waste of money. Now, okay, a couple things, and I know this video is kind of long, and I do apologize, but a couple things. In order to get the tank back to its place, I had to actually wait till a friend come over, like I said I would, and to help me push it back. It was heavy or whatever. Somebody asked me how I got the tank off the wall. The way I got the tank off the wall was that I put my back to the wall, and I basically put one hand at the lower end of the tank and one hand at the higher portion with my shoulder, and I pushed it, and I was able to force it off the wall. Luckily, I have tile and tile versus wood and brute strength. Tile times brute strength equals move tank. So that's the way we're looking at that. But as you guys can see, the tank is up and running, and I guess this is part 2, and hopefully I taught you guys some stuff, and we'll go into part 3, which will explain how the programming works and stuff like that. So hopefully this was a little educational to you, and you got to see a tour of my tank. This is my tank in the sunset mode, and it's actually dimming down over time. The dimming process actually starts at 10 o'clock. It's now 10:30. So, and I think these lights are up to 60%, so it's ramping down. So if you basically take 120 minutes, or if you take 60 and divide it by 120 minutes, that'll tell you the percentage of how much the lights dim per minute. So you can get a just idea or whatever. Maybe I'll try to do one of those those time interval videos so you guys can see the sunrise and the dimming process or whatever like that. The great thing about this is that when it comes to my lights, since the blues are on separate channels, I'm able to cut off half the tank. So when I cut off half the tank, I get you notice that light right there, that's my UVs. I'll go ahead and cut that off for right now so you guys can get an idea. But this is half the tank cut off. So the reason this is important is that when you're doing thunderstorms or when you're doing clouds, you don't want it to pass over the whole tank at the same time. So you want it to go in motions. So the way you program that motion is that it's able to go up and down, but you have to be able to go side by side. You can't just go, oh, okay, well, let me just program, let me make my lights straight across a bar. Like let's say the tank's 48 inches and this is the light fixture is like 40 inches. I don't want to go straight across, because if I do, then what happens when I want to get clouds or when I want to do storms, I'm not able to do them because I'm not able to turn it off. It's not snappy. It won't be snappy, you know. So yeah. So that's something you want to work on or whatever. Actually, probably in the 4th installment of these videos, I'll go ahead and show you how the thunderstorms and the clouds work and stuff like that. I actually don't want to do it now because since I'm still working on the programming, I want to be able to show you the programming and the lights working so you guys understand the whole concept of the of how it works. So just in case you ever want to get the controller, you're able to do it yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off right now and say peace, and I'll see you guys on the next one.